5 seconds.
Well, we are jumping in though. Before we go any farther, this will be the first game of the night. New Wave up against Team First Blood, and it's definitely going to be a good one. Definitely excited for this. We are seeing Luffy. He is going to the XP lane. We are going to see Indo pick up this Dairoth into the jungle, and that is something he's been really hot on. It's been a very popular pick for him. When he picked it, yes, it could be flexible, but it's been like Indo's go-to overall, and he has performed very, very well on it. Naisu.
Yeah, the thing that I'm wondering too, Indo rolling this killing spree, how's that going to match up, right, versus Kid? But you can see already the focus actually going to be on the XP lane here. Dogtor should be fine, right, Uranus? But that's the thing. When you have, again, early game, you always want to kind of focus on this jungle matchup, that pace setting for the entire game. Indo versus Kid. You've got the Killing Spree emblem versus the Demon Slayer jungle emblem, right? And typically, even paired with a Ballman, you already know there's going to be huge contests going on for those early objectives, right? And that's the thing. One big thing about Dairoth is, even though he might not be your typical jungle pick, I would say right now, he still provides a huge amount of damage output, especially around those really constricted areas, right? Those objectives later on, they're always going to have to be worried about. Team First Blood can't kind of just let that happen, in those team fights. That's why I think they picked up that Akai too, to really just allow those lockdowns to happen with a heavy spin, the zoning potential too that's provided there, and the lockdowns, hopefully to find Jappa.
Yeah, I mean, if they can find Jappa, I think if Indo, also Indo, if any of them get slowed down, I'm looking at the side of New Wave and I'm thinking, you got Ziggy, who's going to be some nice burst damage in the end game. The Popo and Koopa, great tower push, but the damage doesn't really come in until a bit later. Same thing with Tamal. I like the way he's harassing right now. Does go down. First blood coming from Gina God mode there. That's not what you want to see on the side of New Wave right now. I think they need to kind of stall this, get it into the late game towards some of these damage dealers and the tanks, they have to do something.
Yeah, but they crashed down already, right? Again, Ziggy's not going to get caught out here. There's the heavy spin right into the wall, and an early kill. A lot of action here already. 2 minutes, 30 seconds into the game. But like I said, you just saw them trade a couple kills, right? But Team First Blood able to grab that first turtle, which is expected. Like I said, Kid is going to be all over those objectives. And it's going to kind of be up to New Wave. Like, do we decide, you know what? We don't want the turtles. Just give them up. Get time for Jappa to farm up. The great thing is he's running the Weapon Master, right? And he also has that early kill here. And he's most likely going to be going that BOG rush item, right? So he will be pumping out a ton of damage later on in the game. And even to just siege this first turret, I mean, that's the whole goal of having this pick anyway, the Popo and Koopa, right? So this is something, once again, Team First Blood has to continuously keep in mind. We can't let Jappa farm up. We can't let him have a good time because we've seen the stats. Everybody knows the stats from this tournament. Jappa is pretty much a beast when he gets to that moment on his gold lane picks, even like this, right? A Popo and Koopa who typically we don't see. But he's already off to a great start here, 3 minutes, 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah, and I love the way that Team First Blood, though, is responding well to this, right? Like, they're hovering down in the gold lane. They're not scared to spend time down here because this is a way that New Wave has been playing heavily. Sometimes they sacrifice that first or second turtle to push into that gold lane, like we're seeing possibly right now is going to come in nicely.
Ziggy looking to get a cut off here, and the rest of the squad. Gina Godmo taking quite a bit of damage. Using the safety of this turret, Joy Abad trying to help out. There's going to be the heavy spin. There you go. They find the kill here. Jappa with another one. The lockdown once again. Tamal trying to focus on Joy Abad, but he's going to take quite a bit of damage himself. Has to back off. Prophecy there to help out. Pops the black shoes. There just for the safety. So they lose one. Not too bad. But again, it's Gina God mode that goes down here, right? And meanwhile, the top lane, finding him with the Abysm Strike. They take down Luffy.
Yeah, that is a double strike, both sides, able to make a play on both opposite sides of the map. Luckily, Kid does get something there, able to take a turtle, keep his team in the game, and even with those 2 deaths that just happened, right? Team First Blood keeping up with the gold count, and that definitely has to do with this jungle emblem on Kid, able to rotate around. But New Wave, I think, feels comfortable with it. They're okay with Indo kind of playing it slow throughout the map. He has gotten in this Thunder Strike. Going to give him a little bit of mobility in some of these team fights. Going to be able to get a little bit of penetration to this tanky front line of the side of Team First Blood. But New Wave does not want to stop right now.
Tamal doing exactly what he needs to do on this Masha here. And you can see, right? Both teams focusing on this gold lane. They know their assignments, and they're going to back off here for now. But already, like you mentioned, Trex, you know, those items here, big key pickups already, right? Like I said, you saw Japa already pick up that BOD early on. He's going to be building into a little bit more damage and defense because he knows at one point, right, the 1-1's just going to go insane. But now Tamal going to be the focus here. Joybodge finding the lockdown on Indo with the heavy spin. That's going to be most likely a kill with the lethal counter. Kid grabbing one for himself now. Nice setup there. Finally grabbing Indo, forcing the brilliance here in the mid lane too. And this is just, I mean, Team First Blood looked like they just wanted to pop the switch here. Tamal is going to take the execute.
Good play, but Team First Blood now, after, like, they get, possibly something. The crossbow tang does go off. Japa does get taken down. A nice pick from the side of Team First Blood there. And now, once Team First Blood gets a little bit of a push here, I've got a feeling they're just going to keep on being aggressive. You know, they have that Akai. We didn't talk a whole lot about it, but it is going to always open up space in these team fights. You mentioned the pins, and we just saw one happen onto Indo right there. It could be rough in this stage of the game for New Wave here. I think maybe their goal isn't to take big 5v5s, keep it split up, try to play into these off lanes, and make plays across the map instead of taking them on 5v5 like this here.
We're going to get locked down. Like you just mentioned, Trex, right? The heavy spin. As soon as I saw this last pick come out in the draft, I was like, that is a solid choice for Joybodge because, I mean, typically we see Akai actually being played in the jungle, but you know, already with that Ballman coming up, we knew where it was going. And this is a solid choice because the lockdowns against a team that isn't super mobile, right, for New Wave, I mean, you don't have much options to play around the heavy spin. So Joybodge, as we're seeing, is just kind of having a heyday, right? He's just like, all right, this is the lockdown, here's the heavy spin. Let's get a kill. And that's kind of what's happening now. Indo can be the lockdown here now. Pops the Abysm Strike, but it's just way too much damage. Crossbow of Tang being popped to Maul. He should be able to survive here, but Kid looking for the kill, can't get it. Gets stunned. Luffy now there too. Brilliant's gonna be popped, goes in under the turret. Joybodge once again with a heavy spin, finds a lockdown, grabbing a kill. That's 2 that fall for New Wave. Luffy under both turrets, pops the Vengeance, should be fine. It's a 2-for-1.
And, you know, the side of Team First Blood, those the first 2 picks, right? The Thamus and the Ballman just laid the groundwork for the team, right? And we're seeing it happen now. Nakai just to seal the deal. They come in, and then you just have Gina God Mode and Prophecy laying down damage from the backline. They have nothing to do, no way to deal with Gina right now. Normally, at 6 minutes, we don't see this many crossbow tangs, I feel like. I mean, Gina God Mode is just hitting those weakness points and making them count. Japa, who's off to a great start, now at 2 deaths. And that gold lead is becoming more and more for Team First Blood. They've taken away 3 towers on the map already, and we're only at 8 minutes in. New Wave may just hit a little bit of a mid-game rubber band, possibly. Dogcore maybe gets something, but right as I'm talking about him, he gets pinned. Prophecy picks up the kill nicely.
Yeah, there's not much you can do, right? This is the pretty much what is going to happen continuously. Joybodge just freely finding the heavy spin. And the other thing I want to point out too here is, like I said in the beginning of the game, look at the difference in levels in jungles, right? And that's the thing, the gap that's going to happen with a killing spree versus a Demon Slayer emblem. But now the crash down to the bottom lane. Joybodge looking again, doesn't have the heavy spin just yet, so Tamal's going to tank quite a bit of this damage as Gina God Mode is looking for it and grabs another kill for himself. Tamal falling here, and now a Lord. Easy for the taking for Team First Blood.
And looking at the side of Team First Blood, looking at these items, Thamus has that has the Corrosion Scythe in, but looking who we really need to look at, the Corrosion Scythe on Gina God Mode right now, along with the DHS, is what's really just singling. I mean, Tamal, 3 whole health bars, right? Just got melted down, completely annihilated in the gold lead on all of them. I mean, Kid, the jungle emblem you mentioned, definitely making a huge difference. 6,700 gold. Even the tank, even the roamer is outperforming Indo practically right now in gold. He's 100 behind, but he's almost caught up with the jungler on the side of New Wave.
Joybodge once again going under the turret. Going to take quite a bit of hits from the turret himself. He finally falls here, but look at the damage already, forcing New Wave back here into their base to heal up. As they finally get that tier 2 turret, they're going to be working on the first inhibitor here into the base of New Wave. They got to go on full defense mode here, but right now, like I said, look at the damage output just coming out from Team First Blood. They got to handle the Lord in the top lane. Team First Blood happy with that. Look at the gold lead, as you mentioned, Trex. It's already it's already off to pretty much a hard start here for New Wave, because at this point it's only 10 minutes into the game, right? This is still, it's not that long. And look at the graph already too, gold wise, right? You can see it right there. They're very far ahead. New Wave, if you look once again at their team composition here, it's going to struggle against what is already happening for Team First Blood, especially itemization-wise, right? For New Wave to get back into this game, they've got to have some amazing defense and then enable them to actually get items themselves. But now, look at this. Like I said, Luffy going 3 versus 1, starting the fight here, going to force them back. The heavy spin does come out, but there you go. Dogtor going to try to just escape here. He should be able to, unless he's going to get slowed, and once again gets the knock-up. Dogtor versus the world as he finally gets taken out. Mega kill going over to Kid.
Man, I think, you know, if Dogtor can get to the point where he can escape those things, you know, a couple more items, maybe 1 or 2 more items, then there may be that hope for New Wave, right? But right now, Team First Blood is just laying it down. You talked about 10 minutes. This is supposed to be the mid game, right? Like, this is supposed to, we shouldn't be losing inhibitors already, but Team First Blood is coming in strong on the first game of the night. Definitely a couple things. New Wave, I mean, I've seen them win out games. I've seen them stall, be patient, wait for the end game very, very patiently, and end up coming back on teams throughout this tournament. It's not something completely unheard of. But Team First Blood also has late game insurance, right? They have Gina God Mode, who has already showed prowess in the early and mid game, let alone the late. So New Wave definitely needs to do something. Lord will be up in 10 seconds, and New Wave looks like they may want to try to contest this.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to, right? I mean, I still feel like they're going to have a very tough time if they go full-on fight here. They've got to look for somewhat of a pick. But who do you even pick off here for Team First Blood, right? It's a tough situation to be in, and right now you can see Team First Blood just going to go ahead and take this Lord here. Joybot popping the conceal play, looking for some setup, not going to be able to get it. Also, Prophecy picks up a Divine Glaive. This was my point. Who do you even focus on for Team First Blood, right? Even if you focus on Prophecy, he's just going to pop the black shoes. Joybot is just going to heavy spin, protect anybody he needs to. Your best target over there is Gina God Mode. But how do you get to Gina God Mode? That is the biggest question here for New Wave, because you got 3 beefy meatballs in front of you, and that is a huge just obstacle in front of them. And now Lord going to be marching into the base here. It's going to crack open the base of New Wave as they have to defend their minds out if they want to stay in this game. It's only 13 minutes. They lose another turret here. Still going to be working on the Lord. Team First Blood looking for the right moment. The setup here, they're going to be very patient. Gina God Mode looking for the setup there. There's the black shoes, resets the stack. That's going to be Kid with the unstoppable. Takes quite a bit of damage himself. Joybot does fall. 3 fall for New Wave. And that's going to be it. The crossbow of Tang comes out, killing spree, and game number 1.
Wow. You know, one thing I didn't expect, I think we're going to go the distance.